Sorry, I just barely finished my drink this late at night. Yep. As I see this sky starting to clear out, and hopefully when I wake up tomorrow morning, it will start out sunny. Who knows? Might be just like this morning with the clouds, and then I just hope that it's not hard rain again. I know that, you know, the heat wave will still be going, and I heard it's gonna cool down on Tuesday of this coming Tuesday. So, right now it's finally cooled down. It feels cool now with some breeze. So it's nice for me to just be out here and doing this next topic, the last topic of the day. That is, you know, just really feeling sleepy, and that's when I'm just ready to start my big break. It starts tomorrow, and right now I'm feeling good. I stopped sneezing apparently, so right now it's just chillaxing in here, and just trying to prevent myself from getting a cold. I need some good rest. So anyhow, let me just get to this topic pretty quickly. I did say I was going to talk about what my result will be for the month of August. And I can tell you right now, even though my big break's going to start next week on what appears to be the last week of August, and obviously the last day is on the 31st. Well, I will do another breakfast only with only Neil this time. It's possible, or if it doesn't happen, I'm pretty sure I'll make something happen on that day, because it is the last day. So this grade I'm gonna give, it's like, look, man, I know what transpired the last several weeks, or just pretty much from the beginning till just even the last week, or you just say like the week before that, just what I got myself into, what transpired with the Nutballers group, and obviously the gatherings, and the two big gatherings at the beginning of this month, and that short break, and now about to find myself getting a longer one, and that starts right at the end of August. But even with that, with my first week here of my big break, my 3 week big break, that's gonna start tomorrow. Unfortunately, the result I want to give is exactly what is expected, and I really hate to say it, man, but it is still gonna be 0-8. Oh my God, 0-8. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm really critical on how I evaluate my months, right? And if it wasn't for what I ran into the last couple of weeks, and to the point where I was just been in panic mode all week long in regards to what happened the previous week, and again, that's what I got myself into, and that's what I got. And I mean, I didn't like how it happened, but unfortunately here we are, and despite the two big gatherings that happened at the beginning of the month, obviously two of my other friends missed out. One, just, and then the short break, and okay, it was cool. I will give you this though, the basketball shoot around games that I've had mostly at home, it's been phenomenal. It's been another phenomenal month of my basketball, shoot around games here, since especially that buzzer beating 4-pointer, in the overtime of that Zimmerman Park game, that part two. the game two in my home court on just the last Friday. So that's one of the best highlights I had. I already played the 3 points only games. One was at home, which was a much closer result than I expected it to be, and then one on the road, which started out where I started out pretty hot, and then it started to cool down right at the end. Um, I got a lot of really good games. Obviously, I have a winning record. I only lost 3 times this month. So, and for the most part, I eclipsed 70 wins. I did a couple of 3-point, just 3-pointer shootouts, just for the fun of it. You know what I'm saying? So, in the Sunshine Park, I made like 4 straight threes. So, my shoot around season still remains, just as phenomenal as ever, as it's been all season. I mean, particularly, you know, when I started having that dominant run in after losing 4 in a row in April, just that's when I started to dominate. But hell, for the most part, it's just been a phenomenal season. Even this month, I remember a couple of buzzer beating shots that I had earlier in the year. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty big for this month of August, especially since I'm healthy and I played, excuse me, a lot of home games this month, all in Cereal Park East. It's just, it's just still, it's good for me to see myself healthy and just really balling out like I should, But the reality is, outside of my shoot around season, I got all these issues going on. My dump, obviously one of them, and obviously the problems I've been having as a result of me still being in that dump. And now just recently, just what's been happening like the previous week. How I've said it. So I'm sorry, dude. Even if, let's say, my next week, the first week of my big break is going to be good, as a good one. I'm really hoping it's going to be a good one. I'm pretty sure it will be. It's just not going to be enough, dude. I mean, yes, I'll be able to celebrate dude's birthday this coming Friday, and obviously breakfast only with Carlos and Neil tomorrow. And I'll have one of my shoot-around games after work. As a primetime game on the road, it'll be in San Marino Park, which is now called Heroes Park, which I played earlier this year on my debut with that new title. I may possibly play another road game after work. We'll see. But I know one I'll have at home, which will be directly after work, and that's the West Grove Park game to finish out the series. And so I'll be in Cereal Park East. So, just for the most part, I can see myself having a good first week of my 3-week big break. But again, that's not really going to change how I feel about my month of August, because it's just been terrible throughout because of what transpired the last couple of weeks. And obviously, from what I saw, it's just really, really, really giving me so much, feel to just being in panic mode. And obviously, I know what I did wrong, and it's like I said, me and Mari just have not really been talking since that big argument we had, and obviously what happened the day after. I don't know, I may have already lost one friend. I'm not saying it's official, and here comes another friend that I may lose. It's just been friendship issues left and right, and basically just after what transpired the last couple of weeks, it's just, and the fact that I'm just being in my dump and feeling what I'm feeling, all that, it's hard to have a good day anymore and just being this dump, okay? So it is what it is, dude. Like, as long as I continue to have these same problems, the result of my month is just gonna be what it is. I'm sorry, dude. I wanted to say 1-7, but it ain't happening like that, So I know the next month, September, like the first couple of weeks. Yeah, I'm still gonna have my big break going. That's 2 more weeks right there, the second and third week. So it should be good for the most part, but I don't know how it's gonna be the rest of the way. You know what I'm saying? That's why I need to just buckle down because I said it and I want to prioritize it. Job hunting, job hunting, job hunting. Apply for 10 jobs a day. And so that hopefully by next week, I'll start getting some job interviews. If it ain't this week, then the week after. I got to get something done because I ain't going to sit for like going into the next month just feeling the same old misery, just being in that dump and expecting what my next raise would be. Yes, I'm going to be there in my 13th year. Unfortunately, I've been trying to avoid that, but to see what my next pay would be after that raise, which will not be much, of course. Yeah, it'll be 18 something, but will it be like 1850, 1875? Like, come on now. It should have been at least 22 an hour. But after I started out 12 an hour, in my first year there. But it is what it is, dude. So I gotta make something happen at this point because, you know, just even if I may have a good first week of my 3 week big break, and to close out August, it ain't gonna be enough, dude. It ain't gonna be enough. I'm sorry. That's why I said it's gonna. My result. I'm still gonna be 0-8. So that's just. Oh man, I've yet to have one good month, but obviously, I shouldn't really have to just focus so much on trying to have a good month when I can just focus on trying to get the hell out of that dump. Period. I'm not here to focus on having a good year anymore. I need to focus on getting out of that dump. Period. Because I know every time I'm still there, no matter what I try to do, even if I were to, like, let's say, hike to another waterfall or just hanging out with friends, going to San Diego for like a couple of days and come back, it's just ain't gonna be enough. I'm sorry, dude. The fact that I'm still in that dump, it's making me feel like I'm stuck with the reality that I'm in. I need to get out there so I can change life for myself. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that, dude. I'm 0-8 officially. Yep, that's the result. I'm 0-8. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. And you have a good rest of your night. And I'm about to get some sleep soon. I gotta get a little busy and then I'll sleep. All right, peace.